Hey everyone, it's Jananie and welcome back to my channel, This Story Ain't Over. So today I'm coming to you with a quick little April TBR. I refuse to let the months kind of meld together as we are in isolation. So I'm giving myself a concrete April TBR to kind of work towards. So I'm currently in the middle of like a lot of books as per usual, which is totally fine. So I'm going to tell you about a couple of those and then a few other books that I'm very excited about that I'm going to be reading this month, and one of them is for a book club as well with my work. And then there's a bunch of other books that I'm reading also, but I can't tell you about because they're kind of for a video in the future, so I don't want to spoil things. So here we are. So one of the books that I'm currently in the middle of reading right now is If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha. So this book is actually coming out in April. This is the arc, but the author is from South Korea, and the book is about these four women of varying ages, all in their 20s-ish, and one of them I think is in her 30s, and they are women living in Seoul, South Korea, and their lives kind of intersect because they are living in the same apartment building, and they're all going about their own individual lives, but each of them is very different and distinct. So we have Ara, who is a hairdresser, but she does not speak. She went through a traumatic experience when she was younger, and so she doesn't speak aloud anymore. We have Curie, who is a room salon girl, so she provides companionship for older men in exchange for money. And then we have Miho, who is this talented artist who is finding herself in a psychological turmoil after one of her friends and someone she really looked up to commits suicide, and she is now dating the boyfriend of that person. And then we have Wana, who is married and isn't super happy with that relationship, but she is about to have a child and she doesn't know how she and her husband are going to afford that in the economic reality that they have. This book has so far been really interesting. I haven't gotten very far in, but it's just been interesting seeing each of these women and the different perspectives that they have and how vastly different their lives are, even though they live in the same apartment building, like in the same city, you know, with the same kind of cultures and customs, but each of their lives is just so uniquely different. The next book that I'm currently in the middle of is The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. This was in the Fairy Loot box for February, and this is the exclusive cover as well. I think the original is red, but this is the story of a young woman who is kind of slighted by her first love, and so she kills him and becomes this kind of cutthroat person and uses her following suitors to gain power and leverage. And she's also like the youngest of like sisters, and they've always come before her. And so she plots this plan to get introduced to the king and seduce him into falling in love with her and marrying her so that she can marry him, kill him, become queen, and rule over everything. She's a very cutthroat kind of badass character, very Slytherin character. But the king is no Hufflepuff either. He is a bit of a Slytherin himself. He is called the Shadow King, and he has like these shadows around him, and there's like a bit of magic in it, and I haven't gotten very far, so I don't know how the magic is gonna evolve later on, but I'm quite interested, and I also just am interested by the fact that it's two Slytherin characters falling for each other. I think it's gonna be interesting, so we'll see how that goes. And from everyone I've talked to who has read this, they said it was a really quick read for them and they just kind of blew through it and had a lot of fun with it, so I'm hoping to just sit down and devour this. All right, the next book that I have here is one that I'm reading for a book club at my work, and that is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. Basically, this book follows this wealthy white woman named Alex Chamberlain, and she has a babysitter named Amira Tucker who takes care of her young toddler son. But Alex is a bit shaken up when Amira is taking Alex's toddler to a high-end supermarket one night, and the security guard there accuses her of kidnapping the toddler. And for context here, Amira is black. And when the security guard accuses Amira, there's like a crowd that gathers and someone films it, and it ends up blowing up really big. And the book kind of spirals from there. I honestly don't want to find out more about this. It seems like it's going to be a really interesting book, and I've also heard some really amazing things about it from reviews that have come out already. It's also a Reese's book club pick, so I'm excited about that. I'm actually thinking of going back and reading all the Reese's book club picks, so if you've read any of the previous ones, let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, I think this is gonna be really fun, and I also think it's gonna be great for discussion for the book club. All right, the next book that I'm hoping to pick up this month is one that I'm really excited about because it's by an author that I absolutely love, and that is Marie Rukowski's The Midnight Lie. And this is the author who wrote the Winter's Trilogy, so The Winter's Curse, The Winter's Crime, and The Winter's Kiss. It is a fantasy series that involves imperialism, slavery, and a very interesting power dynamic shift and lots of political tension. And Marie Rukowski writes that really, really well, and so I'm really interested to see how it's gonna go in this one, because this one seems a little less politics focused, and I'm pretty sure it also features an FF romance as well, which I'm really excited about. But this is set in another part of the fantasy world that the Winter's Trilogy is set in, and this one actually has a little bit more magic in it than the Winter's Trilogy did, and it follows a traveler and a like criminal, and when they meet, and I honestly honestly don't want to know more about this because I just want to dive into it and really take it in, because I do feel like Marie Rukosi's books are very complex and hard to explain, and I think that is part of their charm. So yeah, I know this is going to be beautiful, and also her writing is just gorgeous, so that's something I just can't wait to sink my teeth into. All right, and the last book that I'm really hoping to pick up this month is Of Curses and Kisses by Sandhya Menon. I am so excited about this. The second I heard about this, I was just like, I need this now. Sandhya Menon is the author of a bunch of YA rom-coms featuring South Asian main leads, which I absolutely love, and I own all of her books, and I've read all of them and I love them. And so this is her newest one, and this one's a little bit on the older side, and it's a little bit different. It involves some fantasy in it. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it follows this young woman named Jaya Rao, who is a princess, and our main male character, Lord Grey Emerson, and I think he's like an English lord or something. But there's an age-old feud, I think, between their families, and there's a curse involved as well. But these two characters meet at St. Rosetta's Academy, which is this like high-end academy for royals, I guess. And Jaya Rao is going there with the intention of taking some kind of revenge or going after Lord Grey Emerson. And I think this is just going to be a lot of fun and really, really interesting. And this is exactly the kind of book that I want to read right now. Something fun, something kind of lighthearted, but also kind of magical, and something that transports me. So I think this is gonna be a lot of fun. If anyone has read this, please let me know, because I think this did come out last month, so I'm a little bit late to the game, but if you have read it, let me know what you thought. But these are all of the books that I'm hoping to read this April very, very soon. They all seem really great. You know, 2 of them are like adult contemporary literary books, and then the other 3 involve some fantasy, so I'm really excited about that. But as always, please let me know if you guys have read any of these books or are planning to read them. I would love to hear your thoughts. But also, please let me know what you guys are reading this month. I would also love it if you guys could comment one thing new that you've been doing since isolating at home, if you are staying home, which I really hope you are, just so we can see what new hobbies people have come up with. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video, and please remember that this story ain't over. Bye.